AI is everywhere at work now, right? It helps us write emails, debug code. It's like this super-powered assistant. But what if that amazing helpfulness actually has a hidden downside? That's what we're going to get into. And really, it all boils down to this one big question. Is that AI assistant of yours, the one that's supposed to make you smarter and faster, is it secretly, maybe, eroding your expertise without you even realizing it? All right, first up, let's talk about AI's hidden professional cost. Okay, so the convenience is just undeniable. But here's the catch. If we're just passively using these AI tools, just taking whatever they spit out without really thinking about it, we could be looking at a slow decay of our hard-earned professional skills. It's kind of like, the difference between using a calculator to check your math versus just letting it do all the work for you from the get-go. One keeps you sharp, the other not so much. So what do we call this? Well, there's actually a term for it. Let's dive into what's being called cognitive erosion. So what is cognitive erosion? Well, it's basically the high likelihood that your skills will start to get rusty or even that your thinking gets a bit warped if you're just passively relying on AI. And look, the key thing here isn't that you're using AI, it's how you're using it. That's the real game changer. And this whole erosion thing, it doesn't just happen overnight. It kind of creeps in across 6 key areas. Think about it. Your memory encoding takes a hit because you're thinking, why bother remembering this? The AI's got it. Your error vigilance, your ability to spot mistakes, starts to drop. And maybe the scariest one, your domain intuition. That gut feeling, that sixth sense you've built up over years of experience, that starts to fade. And let's be real, these are the absolute cornerstones of being an expert at anything. Okay, so this isn't just some abstract idea, right? It has very real consequences. So which jobs are we talking about? Let's take a look. All right, first up, let's look at a case study, the software developer. I mean, these folks are right at the center of the tech world, and they are using AI coding assistants like crazy. And whoa, look at this risk profile. The overall neurological risk is rated high, and the domains getting hit the hardest? Reasoning, vigilance, and intuition. That's a huge deal, because those aren't just nice-to-haves. They are the absolute core skills that separate a good developer from a great one. So this slide just perfectly lays out the 2 different roads you can take. On one side, you've got the typical failure mode. This is when you just accept a chunk of generated code because, hey, it works. But you have no idea how it works. Debugging becomes this frantic, reactive mess. But then, look at the other side, the protective behavior. This is where you have an explain before run rule. You force yourself to understand and articulate what the code is doing before you execute it. It's a totally different mindset. One path chips away at your skills, the other one sharpens them. Okay, let's switch gears completely. We're going from coding to a super high-stakes medical field. Our next case study, the radiology specialist. Here, a tiny mistake isn't just a bug, it could literally be a matter of life and death. And here we go again, another high-risk profile. For radiologists, the biggest danger zones are vigilance and intuition. We're talking about the ability to spot a super subtle shadow on a scan that nobody else sees. If you start to over-rely on the AI for that, well, you can see how incredibly dangerous that could be. The failure mode here has a name. It's called automation bias. It's that tendency to just trust the machine. You accept its findings, even if it's a subtle miss or a false positive. So what's the fix? It's a blind read, then compare workflow. This is brilliant. The human expert, the radiologist, makes their own diagnosis first, completely blind to what the AI says. Then they compare their findings to the AI's. See the difference? The AI isn't the primary diagnostician, it's a second opinion. It's a tool for verification, not a replacement for expertise. All right, for our last case study, we're jumping into the wild, high-pressure world of finance. Let's talk about the financial trader. And for this one, the risk level is about to get cranked up a notch. And yep, there it is. The overall risk isn't just high, it's very high. For traders, the AI impacts their vigilance, their intuition, and, this is a big one, their stress load. Imagine a super volatile market, just blindly, reflexively following an AI signals in that environment. You could be looking at a catastrophic mistake. So the failure mode is pretty clear. You just overfit to the model signals and execute trades without thinking. The protective behavior, on the other hand, is all about building human-centric guardrails. We're talking about things like pre-commit rules. I will not execute this trade unless X, Y, and Z are true. Having kill switches and keeping these detailed decision logs so you can spot your own biases. It's all about keeping the human in the driver's seat, especially when things get crazy. Okay, wow, so we've definitely laid out the risks. But look, this isn't meant to be all doom and gloom, because there is a solution. So now, let's pivot and talk about how you can become an AI augmenter. Yeah, I really like this framing, where human intelligence meets artificial ingenuity. This says it all, doesn't it? It's not about us versus the machines. It's about finding that sweet spot, that incredible intersection where our own intelligence gets a massive boost from artificial ingenuity. And really, what this requires is a whole new philosophy. We have to stop seeing AI as a replacement that's here to do our work for us. Instead, we need to start seeing it as a force multiplier. It's a tool that makes your expertise more powerful, that gives you more leverage, and ultimately makes you way more effective. So you might be asking, okay, that sounds great, but how do I actually do that? Well, it really comes down to the simple three-step augmentation mindset, and this works for any job. Step 1, you generate your own plan or your own answer first, before you even touch the AI. This gets your own brain working and keeps those skills sharp. Step 2, you use the AI as a tool, a second opinion maybe, something to speed up your workflow. It's your sparring partner, not your replacement. And step 3, and this is probably the most important one, you have to actively verify, question, and document what the AI gives you. You never, ever just accept it passively. You are always in the driver's seat. Which brings us to the final, critical point here. When you boil it all down, all the risks of erosion, all the opportunities for augmentation, it really comes down to a choice. A single, fundamental choice we each have to make every single day we go to work. So this is the question I want to leave you with. As you use these incredible new tools, what's it going to be? Will you be a passive user, kind of letting your skills slowly fade into the background? Or will you choose to be an active augmenter, someone who uses AI to become even smarter, even better at what you do? The choice? Well, it's all yours.